Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Technique Tuesday 25. Let's just finish setting up here. Sure, that's okay. Let's get the feed up. So hopefully Facebook will let me see the comments. Let's have a look. There we go. Okay. Squiggle that a little bit. Get that going. Make sure we've got the volume up. A bit croaky this morning, don't know why. Set. Okay, that all looks fine to me. I'm going to sit myself back down again. Good morning, Jax. Nice and sunny here today, thank goodness. It absolutely chucked it down yesterday.
G'day, Australia.
Hi, Bev. Hope you're having a good evening there. Morning, Sue. There we go. Just wiggle this a little bit. There we go. Okay, so it's just the two cards again today, because it's a little bit more involved. And then, as last time, anyone who comments on the video here on Facebook over the next couple of weeks will be in with a chance of getting all four of the Kinetic cards. Good morning, Gail. And the blanks to make their own designs. So I shall announce the winner of that during our next Technique Tuesday in a fortnight. I mean, you could probably go on for weeks and weeks and weeks doing Kinetic cards because there are so many. So if you like doing them, or any interesting card folds, just immerse yourself into YouTube or Pinterest and you will soon end up down a giant rabbit hole.
Especially if you look at pop-ups.
Yes, pop-up cards as well. Hi, Leonie. Oh, lovely. Morning, Andreen.
Morning, Andrew.
Good morning, Hilary.
Good morning, Hilary.
Smack him now or later. Oh dear. Oh, it's lovely to have your company here. Okay, so let's get started.
I forgot to say morning, Gail.
Oh, yes, you like it. Okay, so we've got the two cards we're going to do today. We've got an accordion and a twist and pop. Just give you a quick look. So there's this one. Try and do it out this way, shows easier than the other way. Good morning, Vanessa. I'll swap it round to this way so you can see. It's like an M and a W, kind of, is the best way to explain that. So that's card number 1. And then card number 2 is the twist and pop.
It's a great dance move. Oh, you're talking about that.
Which is really fun. These are great fun. My feed on the mobile is really quite some time behind, so if I don't answer you straight away,
I will.
that is why. There we go. So let's get started on the accordion first. Pop that to one side. There we go.
I love that twist and pop.
Thank you, Vanessa. Right, okay, so I will pop the materials list and the instructions onto the Crafty Friends group as a PDF as usual, so it makes it easy and you haven't got to be writing bits and pieces down and measurements and things. Won't do any stamping today, but I used my Pattern and Bloom collection to decorate all of these because it's a great little set for male and female cards and will suit pretty much any occasion you can think of. Also use the alphabet die set. The I think it was the first one on this one. Yeah, the first alphabet die set from Julie. The other one. I also used the layers, frames and banners rectangles die set to make the apertures. I was using white super smooth card throughout, including the card blanks, some true black card. I've used some mixed media paper. If you haven't got anything like that, a strong paper I would recommend. All my stamping I did with VersaFine Claire Nocturne, various different colouring mediums, included oxides. The tiny flowers, these were all pro markers, so alcohol inks, which are my absolute favourite if I'm honest. So the pro markers have quite a nice nib, a bullet nib, which is quite fine. So when it comes to the tiny little details, such as the, let's move this up, such as the leaves, you go in, if you touch really lightly, you will only cover a small area and still keep it in the lines. And obviously if you're working on top of super smooth, then that cuts the risk of bleeding the card as well. You'll need a scoreboard, a bone folder, a trimmer, stamp platform, glue, pencil ruler, a die cutting machine for your apertures, and some copy paper as well. So let's get started on this one. So the accordion basically uses two 20 by 40 cards. So the base, we'll call this the base, is the 20 by 40. And then this is cut down from another card blank, and then you can keep the remaining piece to make something else with, or use to cut up and make your mats and layers. Okay, put that to one side. Grab the scoreboard. Okay, so we take one of the card blanks and we're going to score it. Get it butted up nice and neatly there. Make sure everything is straight and score at 20. There we go. Good morning, Julie. No problem. Hope you're all right. And then we want to flip this over. Score at 10 meters, 10 centimeters this side. I'm going to turn it round because the 30 is too close to the edge on that one. You won't get a proper, good. You won't get a proper lining on the, as the 30 is right up to the edge there. And back in at 10. That's it. So I'm going to fold that into the middle so that that mountain line, the line that sticks up. Good morning, Yvonne. That's fine. Have your mountain on the inside always. And again, now the mountain is this side. Give that a slight press at the moment. And fold that one over. Another press, just a slight one at the moment because it will be going through the die cutting machine. There we go. So we've got our basic shape here. Let's move this out the way, and I'll show you how I made the aperture. Bring the first one in as well because it just makes it a little bit easier to understand. Room here. Okay, so with it facing this way, there we go. Just bring this up slightly. Hopefully that's okay. Just going to have the camera moving a little bit. That's it. I'll have a chance to see it there. Okay, so you want your mountain fold to be in the middle. And what I did, as you can see on the finished one here, I created a frame around it as well. It just finishes it off more nicely. So if I show you this first. So to make the frames, I taped, you sit down on the white, it's easier to see. I taped 2 of the rectangle dies together. And what I do is I use the magnetic shim on that goes through with the die cutting plates, because it holds them in position, and you can put the middle one down first and then this one over top, because then it's easier to move the outside one around the inside one, if that makes sense, and it won't move. And once you're happy with the amount of space you've got all the way around it, I've just got some tape top, bottom and on the sides, and that will keep it together, and you can make as many frames as you like then. So that was how we got the frame. And then all you need for the inside, you just need the one die. All I did, again, made sure I did do it by eye. I didn't measure, which is probably a little bit naughty, but placed it over the top, used a little bit of masking tape to hold it in place. Once this side is cut, you can then use that to line up this side, or vice versa, and then you've got your apertures in the actual center of the card as well. So that is quite easy. I mean, you can do this with any of the shape dies. They will look lovely. Just remember that you need to be able to put the other strip of paper going through as well. So just to give yourself a bit of room. Once that is die cut, let's grab this one. Lots of bits here. There we go. That's what you're left with. There we go. As you can see, once you've got one lined up, you can easily line up the second one so that they they both match up. Okay, I will go through this quite slowly, just in case. I know you all know what you're doing, but if anyone anyway, you know, is having problems grasping or anything like that, ask questions at any point as well, that's fine. So once it's been through the die cutting machine, I would also suggest, because you're going to put it on card that will be seen, is to pop some copy paper over as well, which will stop the marks from, I was just going to say, have I got one I can show you? Brian, can you just grab my top plate from the die cutting machine, and then you'll understand. You probably know what I'm talking about anyway.
This one?
Yeah.
This one?
That's the one. I mean, look at the state of this. Of this cutting plate. This will make an impression on your card as it goes through. I mean, it's the same both sides. So to stop that, a little bit of copy paper in between stops any of that transferring onto your nice card. There we go. So now that's been through, we can give this a decent crease. And it is worth spending the time to do this, to make the edges nice and sharp. Oh, the amount of times I've been going through things, Yvonne, I'm exactly the same. I've been watching different things on YouTube and what have you. Right, so now we can pop the frame straight onto here now. So my trusty glue, a little bit all around the edge. I've chosen black because it stands out nicely for what we're doing. You can do whatever colour you like. And because that hole is the same size as that hole, I'm just going to line these up. There we go. Using the wet glue gives us time to adjust if we need to. Stick. Give that a nice firm down once you're happy with it. Go. That'll be fine. Just do the other side. That's that. Usually start at the bottom and work up. Because we've created quite a thin frame, they tend to be a bit more, I'm going to say wobbly. There's probably a more technical name for it. Flexible probably is the right word. Yes, definitely, Yvonne.
Oh, yeah.
And Vanessa, yeah.
Yeah.
Slowly and wet glue. There you go. All the way around. That is yeah. It's the stuff of nightmares, Vanessa. Okay, so that's those on. You will also need a couple of mats for inside. Now the 3 panels, 2 on here, 1 for the front. Obviously they're all going to be the same size, so that's nice and easy to cut out. So I won't put the white ones on because we will send those out. I'll give you the measurements for these. Okay, so we've got these are 9.5 by 19.5. The white pieces that go over the top are 9 by 19. I nearly always go down in ½ centimetre increments, so it creates a thinnish border. Let's put these on. Again, I usually start in the bottom corner there. Bit of glue there. That's not a problem. That will be covered up anyway, but...
Shut up, Wayne.
Good morning, Maxine. How are you?
Oh, the lovely Maxine. Good morning.
Okay. If you do happen to get any glue, this is not going to show underneath anyway. I've got this really handy little glue eraser. You just go over very gently, because we all make mistakes, don't we? And take that off. They are brilliant. Let's pop this one on. Again, starting towards the bottom. I see I've got an equal border here. It's more than likely going to follow through across the rest of the card. I give these a bit of a burnish down as well. Makes a nice finish.
Where did you get the glue eraser?
The glue eraser was, I believe, I want to say Pink Frog.
Okay.
I've had it quite some time. I'm sure it was. I've had it for quite a little while, but I'm sure it was. Okay, and then one more panel onto the front. And then you have the really fun bit of creating and colouring the panels. Again, exactly the same. Line it at the bottom. If you can see, you've got this bottom section with equal distance all the way around it. It should follow through for the rest of the card. Give that a good burnish, although I quite like to say squelch. Squelch is quite a good word. So there we've got the card blank. You could make some extra panels on here if you wanted to. That would look nice. or go straight in and stamp your sentiments rather here and here, or whichever way you want to do it. What I've done is really just a guideline. Okay, so let's pop that to that side, and then the actual part that goes through the middle. So this one measures 10 by 38. No, 38 by 10. Not for Miri card, no. Miri card is yeah. The best thing with Miri card is to let it dry slightly, and then just to use your finger really is the best way to treat Miri card. Some people say about using baby oil and things, but then that just gets a little bit messy really. So we want to score this in half at 19. Okay, I'm going to just move that out of the way, because the next set of measurements are going to be in points, not in halves or centimetres, so we need to measure these out before we do them. Okay, so we want to go in at, line this up. You can see we can use this to line up at 19 and there, so we know we've got a nice straight line. And I'm going to come in at 6.3, 6.3 and 12.6, because the card has to be equally sectioned to make the accordion. Come in again. What's that? So
doing a bit of magic then.
We want, sorry?
She's doing a bit of magic then, waving your hands.
Yeah. Again, we want 6.3, 1, 2, 3, and 12.6. And just to be sure, I come in on the bottom as well. 1, 2, 3, 12.6. 1, 2, 3, and 12.6. That's just to give you a nice guide. Let's bring the scoreboard back up. So keeping it on the same side, what I do is I've made a black line down one of the grooves in the scoreboard, so that when I'm doing something like this, I can easily see where I'm lining it up from. So I'll do this one on this side. And this one on this side. Come in, do that one. And flip that over, so we change that from a mountain to a valley. And then this one. that's all ready. And then if you want to make things nice and neat, we can just rub those pencil lines out until they come up with an ingenious idea for millimetre increment scoreboards. Would be nice, but I don't think it's very likely because I don't think it could be manufactured. And then we'll fold. So into that mounting. And you can see it's aligned top and bottom. Move that. Again, this way. Make sure that's nice and straight. In again. You can manipulate the card so you're keeping the top and bottom nice and straight again. Turn this around now. Go that way. Little things like that that make all the difference. Come back in again. You see what I mean? So when you're folding it over, it's nice and flat up against the edges there, so you're not going completely wonky. There we go. And that's our next accordion. Okay, so we'll pop the panels on here first, apart from the ones that I'll send out separately. So your mats and layers for these, you're going to need 6 pieces of black, which will measure 5.7 by 9.5, so a little bit different this time. Bring this one out. Make sure we've got it the right way around. Get these glued on. So this isn't particularly a difficult card to get to grips with. It's quite a good one to start off with. Get these in each of the panels. Take your time to line these up so we've got a nice flow when it opens up. And then of course you would decorate all your white panels. You could spell out a message to go on the inside of here if you wanted to. As long as you can get 6 letters in, or you could probably fit 2 if you wanted more letters, of course, here. So that it opens up for a message on the inside. Okay, nearly there. These make lovely special cards. glass panel. Okay, I'll give these a burnish down now. Just to make sure they're nicely adhered. Got nice clean edges, nice flat edges. So. And then to put it together, let's bring our card blank back in.
Cool.
Slip that underneath there. Let's bring that up so you can see. What we want to do, we want to pull this flat out. So it's a good idea just to have something to weight these down. A little mug there, because you want to be able to align your score lines up so they're both in the middle. So this is going to go into there. You also want to be able to check that you've got the right amount of space, top and bottom, and everything is nice and straight. Take your time doing this. There we go. So I'm checking on the screen as well. Make sure we've got open border. Bring that down just a little bit. Maybe over there. That's that. So just fold that one over. A bit of glue on. Just hold that in place for a bit. It would, Julie. You can really go to town with these. When you think about all the different shapes you could do as well.
Hexagon.
Yeah, definitely hexagons. Give this a good press down, make sure it's stuck. Always take your time with lining stuff up. Doesn't make a difference. Okay. Hold everything as flat as you can. Come in on this side. Put the glue just on the back of the first one. Finish that in place. So that's just attached either side. There we go. And they will automatically fold into position. So you've got your folds. Obviously you've got the card blank coming up, the insert going down. So if you always remember that, you'll be fine. Because it wouldn't work the other way.
You've always put your glue bottle in the jar, haven't you?
I have. All did someone say? Yes, Yvonne. Yeah, I can be quite impatient. So yeah, it seemed the ideal thing to do. Thank you, Maxine. Yeah, to keep it keep it upside down all the time. I store it like that as well, obviously with the lid on, when I remember. When I remember, yeah. So, yeah, that's basically the accordion card.
Does it play a tune?
That shouldn't it? That's how it looks like from the top.
It is very dimensional.
But yeah. Oh, Hilary, it is quite easy once you get once you get going.
Don't she make you sick, Hilary?
No. Thank you, Andreen. So that's our accordion. Let's let that dry off to one side there. So that will be going in the package for someone as well as the last two cards and these ones. Thank you, Bev. Thank you, Yvonne. So we're talking about glue and lids. Let's pop that back on. Let's move a mug of goodies out the way. Okay, so that's accordion card. You think of all the different varieties of stamps and dies and things that we can use to decorate those up. Twist and pop.
I'm sure
Get the bits and bobs out. So this is basically just a 15 by 30 or 15 by 15 card blank with the added extras on the inside. Let me show you that one again, like so. Sometimes it needs a gentle nudge back in again. But these are cool cards as well. So I've got all the bits and pieces cut out already. Like I say, it's just a 15 by 30 card blank, scored in half. Nice and easy. Down at 15. Out the way for a moment. That's it. So that's the card blank basically done. You will also need some ordinary white cards, some super smooth I use to make your mechanism for the middle and the secret weapon underneath, which I've used mixed media paper. You can use card for the mechanism as well. It does make it quite bulky. That's why I've suggested the mixed media paper, which, as it says, it's for mixed media. It's strong, so it's stronger. It's more fibrous than ordinary paper, and it will hold its shape and do what it's supposed to do. But you can use ordinary card. It just will make it quite bulky. So everything else is mats and layers. What you need to do first, before we forget, is mark a line. Mark off the centre point in the middle of the card. Bring our ruler back in again. It'll be 7.5. Just put a little pencil mark in the middle. That's it. We can forget about that for the moment. That's just going to help us align everything centrally when we get to it. So the second piece of white card measures 9 by 26. And this will hold the mats and layers for your design that you pop into the middle. Okay. So I'm going to bring this up again, making sure we align to the left and the top to make everything nice and straight. I'm going to score that at 13, so it's in the middle. It's basically like making another accordion. Turn that over. And then we want one at 6.5. And 19.5. So that's divided it into 4. Okay. Right, again, come in, making sure top and the bottom is nicely lined up. Over. Mountain folds in the middle. Okay, so that will hold our decorated pieces. Put that to one side. The actual mechanism which makes it work is obviously, like I just said, the mixed media paper. This is 9 by 20, so you want to have it this way first. So you want it portrait, and you want to score that in half at 4.5. Okay, and we're going to rotate that round to landscape and score in half at 10.
This is crucial that you get nice clean crisp.
It is. If you think of the mechanism like origami, which it basically is, you want to keep everything measured quite precisely and crisply. You will want the score lines to be creased nice and flat and sharp. Okay, so we're going to make a little pencil mark again, and it's 4.5 centimeters either side of this middle 10 centimeter line. So that's 14.5. That's top and bottom. So 1, 2, 3, 4.5. Okay, because we now need to make a cross in the middle. So again, I'm going to use this line that I've darkened. That was just with a Sharpie, so that it's permanent, and obviously you won't leave any residue behind. And we're going to go down from the first dot on the top to the last dot on the bottom. Turn it around and do the same from the other side. So line those up so your pencil marks are in the middle of that line. Okay, I'll bring this up so you can see that a bit more clearly. Okay, sorry, I just have to wait for the feed to catch up so I can see what you're seeing. Okay, so that's what your lines look like. So let's move the board out of the way. Now you want to be folding and creasing these in both directions, so you help your mechanism to work and be smooth. So do it inside and outside if you like. Okay, this way. bring this, fold this along this line. You can rewind and watch this as many times as you like. I'm going to do that last line. So you've made it nice and supple. Okay, there we go. Now I've got some that I'd already created. We're going to end up with it like this. Believe me, Andrew, it took me a while.
Andrew, I've never heard Phillipa swear before.
So this is what we're going to end up with. So the longer lines are going to come in. You basically just have to manoeuvre it. Trying to get it in so you can see. Press these in and these in. That's there. Okay. Like so. And you want it to have little legs. Need that to have little legs. Not the other way. I'll do that again. Me and origami don't always get on. It's got to be said. So basically these middle lines are going inside. So these both go inside. These both go inside. Okay, you can kind of see that from that shape. But once I'd done one, I kept it so that I would have an idea and not confuse myself. Yeah, definitely. As Brian says, practice it on a bit of copy paper first before you go into making your actual mechanism. We're now going to give this another good squish down. That's fine, Elizabeth. Okay, we need this nice and neat. And it's amazing to think how this is going to work, but it does. It does. Okay, so we've got the mechanism, we've got our concertina, and I kept myself a little diagram of how this will be as well. This glues onto here, like so. Okay, so as I remembered it, have your accordion like an M. Good morning, Sonia, how are you?
Oh, morning, darling.
And we're going to have one bit this side. Try and do this so the camera picks it up. So if you see it from the top, you've got your two creased lines here, you've got your cut lines under there. This holds it in place. Hope you can see this properly. Okay. So it's with the two crease lines at the top, the one crease line and the cut lines at the bottom. And you've got one leg, as I call them, either side onto the outside edges. I hope that makes sense. So I'm going to pop some glue about halfway up on the leg that side, and on the other side the opposite way. Okay, so again, with the 2 crease lines there. Oh, get in touch if you want to, Sonia. Place this on. When you attach this, just make sure all your lines follow through. So we got the straight there and there, both sides. That is now attached. So it's just under here. Give that another squash down. Again, replay this as many times as you need to. I suppose you could, it's kind of like a paper clip, I guess, is one way of looking at it. We'd give that time to dry off as well. Okay, so that's that. Glued one side there, one side there. Let's have a look all the way around, just so that's making sense, hopefully. Let's leave it to one side. And what we'll do, these 3, sort out our mats and layers. So the one for the front is just 14.5 by 14.5. The white piece is 14 by 14. And then there's the 4 little bits for the inside, for your decoration, greeting. Yeah, get in touch, Sonia, that's fine. And these measure 5.5 by 8, and the black are 6 by 8.5. There we go. Let's move this one side, and again, all the measurements will be as a PDF in the group. You want to be doing it on the inside. This then folds out again. I'll pop these on for you. You can do this now or when it's assembled. It's entirely up to you. It doesn't make a huge amount of difference. Feeling the card to see the which is the back and which is the front. The true black, one side is rough and one side is the smooth front, which is quite handy. And of course you could pop your decorated pieces on straight on top as well if you want to. Last piece. And as usual, I'll give this a squish. Okay, pop that back into there. That will fold back to how it was. There we go, that's so. Now we come back to our little dot that we placed in the middle of the card. So the easiest way of doing this everything in shot for you. Pop glue on one of your triangles on the mechanism. And I'm going to use that centre point. Don't get it right up to the middle. Just line it up with that. Make sure the rest of it is nice and straight all the way around. So just leave a little bit of a gap where your score line is, so it doesn't get too bulky. Get that nice flatten down from the top. Make sure that's well attached. It's a good idea to give these things time to dry as well. Okay, so that's one side. Pop some glue on this triangle. Bring that down. Turn that over. And just come in gently with this one. If you go in too firm, and I'm not going to use this time, you will pick up the marks of it onto the top of your card, which you don't want. I'm just feeling where that triangle is underneath. Smoothing that down, just making sure that's stuck. Okay, and I'm going to pop this on the top. You could do it before, but I just like to be able to feel the mechanism underneath before I put anything on the top of it. Again, coming in, lining that up the bottom, and it will follow through to the rest of the card. Get that a little smooth down, and you'd be able to put your decorated piece on as well. A bit of glue off my finger there, but we'll get our little rubber. That's it. Glue gone. Let me open up. Ta-da! Twist and pop. There we go. Back in again. So these are quite cool. These are quite fun, aren't they? Again, this is another one that would be great for teenage cards. They're always difficult. Yes. Definitely prefer wet glue. I haven't used a tape runner for years, usually because I'd get them stuck. The glue on tape runners and with some double-sided tapes dries very quickly over time, and you end up with, I've kept cards from things I've made with double-sided tape and things just fall off in the end because it dries out really quickly. So I always go for wet glue, unless I'm doing something that's a construction, and what we know as red liner tape is excellent. That's fine because it's got that little bit more oomph to it. But yeah, definitely always wet glue. There we go. That's done, and that'll be ready to send out for someone to finish off and decorate as they desire. That's what it looks like from the inside, so you've got an idea of what yours will look like.
Dream is doing
challenge on. Oh, thank you everybody. Yes, kids would love that. Yeah.
And adult kids.
Great for men's cards also. Brilliant for men's cards. Thank you so much. That's brilliant. Thank you, everybody. So I'll open that up again just because it's quite addictive. There we go. So yeah, once you've got your head around, if you like, the origami mechanism in the middle, I think you'll be making quite a lot of these. But as you can see, that's why I've used the paper, the mixed media paper, and not card, because it can get quite bulky on the inside there. I mean, card is fine, just be aware that you will have a bit more bulk with it. There we go. So I'll bring these and let's get the top on my glue before I forget.
You're welcome, Auntie.
You are all very welcome, everybody. So yeah, finish one. And yes, you can do it the other way round. Keep an eye out for my post on Saturday. I've got something there to share with you. Another variation.
It's Phillipa doing the demos.
It doesn't matter. And the accordion. So, 2 more Kinetic cards for you to add to your crafty collections and different ways of doing things, which is what these are all about. So that's those 2.
Great.
Thank you, everybody. It's been lovely to have your company this morning. Much appreciated, as usual. So yeah, I will announce the winner of all 4 of the Kinetic cards the next time, in a fortnight's time, and the next Technique Tuesday will be all about using vellum. Different ways of using vellum, different techniques with it. So that was asked for, I think, at the end of last year, when I asked people for their ideas of what they'd like. So we'll be using vellum. So thank you so much. I think that was everything. Yep, the instructions and materials list will be up on our Facebook group, Crafty Friends at Julie Hickey Designs. So if you haven't joined us yet, pretty much everybody here has, but when this goes out to YouTube and things, we would love to see you in our Facebook group, so come along and join in the fun. The spring challenge closes this week on the 11th, winner announced on the 13th, so keep an eye out on that. And also, it's quite important, if you have a look at our spring challenge album, which is in the group, and like and comment on your favourites, because it's the one with the most likes that will win. So thank you for that, and I shall look forward to seeing you all in a fortnight. Thank you, everybody. Take care. See you soon, and get making those Kinetic cards and sharing. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.